Good afternoon, world. It's coming to 5 o'clock. Hope you guys enjoyed my video I made yesterday. Yesterday I made 2 videos. Yeah. Made a video about my Xanus band, Sky Source, Xanus movie. I also talked about the Bible. I hope I challenge you Christians out there. Obviously. Ivan, do you believe it's debatable? Yes. I'm not saying my view is 100% fact. I mean, it's debatable. There is evidence in the Bible to prove that sin is mainly about the deeds, but there's also evidence to prove that it's mainly about the nature. I interpret sin to be mainly about the nature, obviously, when you read the Bible. I know Sam disagrees with me, David Wood, and all those guys, they disagree with me, but I mean, that's their what? That's their view, right? This is my view, obviously. Yeah. Was today busy at home for you, Ivan? Yes, it was. It was busy, man. Not as busy as last Sunday. Last Sunday I ended at like 4:30, I think. Today I ended around like 3:40 something, right? But it was still fucking busy, man. It was a lot of work. Yeah. Are you looking for another job? Yeah, I'm looking, man. I already applied to 3 places. I applied to Snack Shack, McDonald's, and Tim Hortons. I haven't heard from them, so I'm gonna keep applying tomorrow. I'm gonna apply to the Tim Hortons in Vanya near Darcy. Yeah, I'll apply there too. I'll also apply to A&W's. I'll apply there too. Yeah. So if you don't like over 40, no, I don't. I like the people there. The people there are very nice. It's a family, but dishwashing at over 40 is not fun, man. Especially on weekends, it's not fun. Weekdays, it's not that bad because the restaurant's pretty slow. But even closing on weekends is dirty work too. Sometimes it's not that bad, but most of the time, even closing on weekdays is a lot of work, man. Closing at over 40 is crazy. I don't know. They bring dishes every like 5 minutes. So you have no break. You pretty much have no break. You're constantly washing dishes, taking dishes out. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, it's tiring, dude. Today, when I woke up and I went to work, the alarm went off and I woke up, man, my body was so tired. I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta go to work. I knew it was gonna be busy because Sundays are busy. I was tired, man. Yeah, man. Are you gonna quit over 40? I'm only gonna quit over 40 until I know for sure I got another job. If they don't hire me, I'm not gonna quit over 40 because right now I have a job. You don't want to be stupid and quit over 40, and after that you can't find a job for 3 months. Like, work over 40, put up with the dirty work, but then if McDonald's gives me a call or A&W's or Tim Hortons, I'm leaving over 40. I'm gonna give the boss my 2-week notice. He's like, Ivan, why are you leaving? I'm like, yeah, the work is a bit tough on my body. Yeah, I won't tell him that. It doesn't look good. It shows that you're lazy, right? I'll just say, yeah, I prefer working at my other job. Just say that, right? Don't say the work is dirty work because that shows that you're lazy. Because everywhere you work, it's a lot of work. But over 40, dishwashing is not fun, man. It's not fun, yeah. Yeah. Nobody likes doing the dishes. Yeah, man, it's not fun. There's a reason why when people apply to restaurants, they always avoid. People never ever apply to a restaurant as a dishwasher. I actually applied to Coco 40 as a dishwasher, but yeah, I'm looking for a dishwashing position. You know what I'm saying? Was the guy who worked with me today? He initially applied for a busboy, but they put him as a dishwasher because the boss knows that I need help on Sundays. Yeah, Ivan needs help on Sundays. You can't wash dishes alone on Sundays, man. And if you do, you're going to be behind and you're going to be very stressed out. Yeah. Today I had to take out a bunch of garbage. I don't know, like 12 garbage bags, a bunch of cardboard. No, I didn't have to take out that much cardboard today, but I still have to take out a bunch of garbage. I had to mop the front of the restaurant, obviously. I'm at. I'm sorry. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. Yeah, man. And now I know why. You ever notice how whenever you apply to dishwashing jobs, you'll receive a call by the boss within the next day or two where they might hire you on a spot. When I applied to Dinty's, I got a call like 2 days later. You got the job. Coco Fruity, they hired me on the spot. Then when I applied to McDonald's and Tim Hortons and Snack Shack, I haven't heard from those guys. I haven't heard from McDonald's in like almost 2 weeks, a week and a half. I haven't heard from Tim Hortons. It's tougher to get those jobs. Whereas dishwashing is an easy job to get because a lot of dishwashers who work at restaurants, they quit. They don't like doing that dirty work. Hence why the dishwashing is like the easiest job to get at a restaurant. Chances are, if you apply as a dishwasher, they're going to hire you on the spot. Because they know a lot of dishwashers quit, yeah. The dishwashers in restaurants are expendable. Yeah, they can easily quit. They're a dime a dozen. Like, they work for 6 months, they quit, they find another job, they have to hire more dishwashers. The other dishwashers quit. Yeah, no one likes washing dishes. It's not fun. Yeah, man. It's not fun washing dishes, man. Yeah, man. It's not fun. Yeah. Yeah. Has the boss ever told you he can do it himself? Yeah, he did. He's like when he gave me shit. Obviously, he's like Ivan. Like if you don't want to work here, I can do the dishes myself. But I know even though he can do the dishes himself, the boss doesn't want to do the dishes on weekends himself. He doesn't want to do that. Yeah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. He doesn't want to wash the dishes, man, and he knows it, man. It's a lot of fucking work. Yeah. If the boss can do the dishes himself, he can easily work Saturdays by himself, right? I don't have to work Saturdays, but he makes me work Saturdays because he doesn't want to do the dishes, man. It's not fun doing dishes. Yeah, man, it's not fun. Washing dishes is not fun. Samsara? Yeah, it's not fun. And that's why the gate's not touching my money. I work my ass off for peanuts. Like my $900,000 while you're making your trillions every year. The billions out the books for me and region, you're not touching my money. That's how it works. Zero. The money off the Zane's book is for me, VJ. It's not for you. There you go. The billions out the books for me, VJ, not for you. I'm sorry? So it's more if you're off. Yeah, it's more if I'm off. I'm going to apply at the Tim Hortons. I'll bike there. I'll apply to the Tim Hortons in Vanier, next to Darcy. The AMWs. I'm gonna apply there. I'll bike there tomorrow. Because I haven't heard from McDonald's. I haven't heard from Tim Hortons. I haven't heard from Snack Shack. So I'm gonna apply to those places. Obviously, I might even apply to Tutti Frutti. There's another restaurant called Tutti Frutti, not Coco Frutti, Tutti Frutti. I believe they're looking for line people. So I might apply there for a line position, right? Yeah, I'm here applying for a line position at Tutti Frutti. I'm not going to apply for dishwashing. I'm not. What about dishwashing? I know I'm not. I don't like dishes. I'm not washing dishes, man. Whereas Dinty's, I don't mind washing. Dinty's is not bad. Dinty's is busier than Coco Frutti during the day, obviously. But the way the routine works for the dishwashing is not as stressing Coco Frutti. Because Dinty's, they have a different system for the dishes. The system for Dinty's is in my the way it is more. It's not as stressing as Coco Frutti. I don't have to take all as much garbages. But Denny's is also pretty stressful too. It's a lot of work too, but it's not as bad as Coco Frutti. Because Coco Frutti, you have to close. Closing means every dish in the kitchen, obviously, you have to wash it all. Every dish. Because the restaurant closes at 2:30. Whereas Denty's doesn't close at 3. They close at 9. All I have to do is just wash the charcoal, clear the dish pit well enough, and then by 3 o'clock I'm out of there. Yeah. Samsara? And I get tip. Dinty's, they pay me tip, right? Coco Frutti, I don't make any tip. Dinty's, I get tip there. They pay me tip, yeah. Dinty's, they pay me tip. Yeah. That's gross, guys. I farted. Yeah. 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 And that's why the money not supposed to be immediate, man. Gates don't touch my money, yeah. The billions are supposed for me and my wife. It's not for you. You're not touching my money. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, if I sell, you guys win the game, and the gatekeepers win the game, and they're ruling over me and VJ. They're not meant to rule over me and VJ. We're meant to be king, queen, not them. They're not God. That's why I have my own keys. I want to sell to them. And the billions are supposed to be me and VJ. It's not for you. You have your trillions. These billions are me and VJ's. It's not yours. Sarah? Yeah. Yeah, the 12 million bucks is for me, VJ. VJ, I have how much you got for your book, by the way. You want to know, VJ? Yeah, I made $12.5 million. You made $12.5 million off your book, off your masteries? I'm like, yeah, I did. She said, holy shit. That's a lot of money. I know it's a lot of money. We can live the dream life with that money. We can build that dream like 500 of them in our house. I know. Beautiful house like Incredibles, man. Yeah, man. Ivan, are you bluffing, man? What you show us, did you really write that? Yes, guys, I'm not lying to you guys. What I wrote, and I showed you, I wrote it. Yeah, man, I wrote it by myself. Holy shit, you are gifted. Yeah, my book is sick, man. It's a masterpiece. My stepmother told me my book's #1. Yeah, man, Zane's #1, man. It's the best fans I've written. It's a masterpiece, obviously. Ivan, what volume do you think fans like the most? Volume 2. I think it's going to be Volume 2. I'll give you my reasons. The reason why I think fans are going to like Volume 2 because Volume 2 is the middle volume. It's the bridge volume between Volume 1 and Volume 3. That's why you can argue it's the best, obviously. Now, the dialogue, you can argue, is the most polished and interesting in Volume 2 compared to Volume 1 and Volume 3. But Volume 3 has the bigger climaxes, big plot twists happening, hence why you can also argue it's better. But I think fans are either going to like Volume 2 the best or Volume 3. But I think most fans are going to like Volume 2 the best. I personally like Volume 3 the best, but some fans might like Volume 2 better, right? It just depends how you hit you. Yeah, Volume 2 is my favorite. Volume 3 is a close second, and Volume 1 is the worst, because Volume 1 is just a build-up of a plot, right? It's the build-up of the story, yeah. Nothing really happens in Volume 1, right? When you read it. It's the build-up of the plot of the story, Volume 1. That's why it's my least favorite, but some fans might like Volume 1 the best, right? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. No, I even seriously, man, you bluff manage your whole book like that. Yes, guys. I'm not lying to you guys. I'm telling you the truth. My whole book is concept entertainment. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. It's the best fantasy novel I've ever written. It's a masterpiece, man. Yeah, man. A book worth billions. Yeah. A book worth billions, yeah. Yeah, man. Book worth billions. Book worth billions. I got my daily check today, so today I can pay off some of my money I owe to the government online, or I'm going to pay it off online. So far, I paid off $40. Today, I'll pay off maybe $30. $30 to $40 I'll pay off today. This Thursday when I get my Cocoa Fruity money, I'll pay $60 towards the government. So far, I paid off $140, I believe. I owe them $465, so $465 subtract $140. $325 left. Yeah. And save your money, Ivan. That way, you can't trust the gatekeeper. You can't trust the taxes. You can't trust the government. You can't trust your family. Just save your money. That way, you don't have to worry about the bullshit happening again next year. Samsara. Yeah. I only need to save like $2,000. That's enough. I also want to get my teeth cleaned. I want to do that interview with Vincent Valentino. So I have to save some money, obviously. Well, for the interview with Vincent Valentino, I don't have to save money for that. You just take $200 from your bank account and you pay him $200 for an hour and a half interview. Yeah, at his apartment. Yeah, about the book publishing industry. Yeah. I had my 6 beers today, right? Yeah. I'm gonna drink 1 beer. What's this beer called? Bush Ice. You guys know Bush Ice, 6% alcohol? You guys in Canada know the brand, right? I believe you guys in the States have this brand too, obviously, right? Yeah. Bush Ice. Yeah. It's not coming off. It's like there's like glue on it. What the fuck? It's so sticky. Take this off. My beer. There you go. I got it off. Ivan, do you really think some fans will like Way of Kings and Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings better? Yeah, perhaps. Those books are masterpieces too, right? My book is not infallible. My book has flaws too. Even the greatest storytellers have flaws in their writing. I have flaws in my writing too. What's your biggest flaw, Ivan? The biggest flaw I have in my book is the rawness. My writing is a little raw when you read them. You guys read such my book. Most of the dialogue is top notch, but you can tell there's some stiffness in some of my dialogue. I even could have used better word choices here and there. You caught a little bit of rawness in my writing, but my book is so more entertaining these other books. And some of you readers on fantasy read like Way of Kings and Lord of the Rings better. I understand. Those authors, Brandon Sanderson and George R. R. Martin, they wrote masterpieces too, right? Well, be honest, man. When you read my book and you read those books, what book's more entertaining? My book's more entertaining, man. My book's more entertaining to read, yeah. 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 Ivan, be a full-time author when you're king. I'm like, no, guys, my dream is not being an author. Being an author is nice, and writing books is fun, but it's not as fun as being a movie star. My dream is to be a movie star. He's like, yeah, Ivan, I don't want to be an author. I want to be a movie star with you, Ivan. Yeah, being a movie star is much cooler, man. That's glory. The glory of God, man. Ivan and I, that's fucking cool, man. I want to be a movie star, Reach. I don't want to write books. I only wrote Xanus. I have no choice. The game was all doors me. But I like writing books. I had a blast writing Xanus because I wrote a masterpiece. But it's not my ultimate dream. My ultimate dream is to be a movie star. It's not being an author. I only wrote Xanus because the gatekeepers locked all doors me. Hence why I wrote Xanus, obviously. And writing a book is cheap. You just need a computer and a brilliant mind. You can write your book. And proofreading only costs like maybe $2,000. It's more affordable, whereas, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I chose to write Xans. And I was already writing Xans. I'm like, yeah, okay, I have the keys. The doors are locked on me. How can I own a brand and make billions for me and Veej? Oh my God, my book's Xans. I'm writing the book, and I figured it out, and I finished the book. God protected me, right? Yeah. That's what Zane's book, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I hope Peter Jackson, when you watch this, Mel Gibson, I hope you guys were impressed by what I showed you for my book Xanus. I mean, I was impressed, man. Your book looks fucking sick. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, guys. I wrote a masterpiece. That's why Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson are really gonna fight hard for that job. This is crazy. I'm gonna really, really fight hard for that job, man. They're gonna really fight hard for that job. Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson, yeah, man. Yeah. 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 So, Ivan, when you release your book, when you're king, it'll be a public embarrassment. Yes, it will, man. As you guys read such my book, right? When you guys read such section of my book, you were probably shocked. Holy shit, there's something unique about Ivan's writing. It stands off from these other fantasy novels. Yes. There's a reason why my stepmother told me my book's #1, and Hollywood would be all over my story. She told me that, man. But no, I'm not selling, man. I'm not selling to you wicked people. The money out the books for me, VJ. I have the keys, I'm gonna sell to you. And I don't want to be in Hollywood. And why would I sell to Hollywood when I can start my own films with VJ Barrett in Hollywood? Make my movie for $2.1 million and sign that negative with Amazon. I control my box office. Why the fuck would I sell to the Hollywood system? I have the keys. I don't sell to you, man. I can open my own door myself. I don't need you guys to open door for me. I can open it myself. I have the keys, yeah. I have the keys to the kingdom. Yeah. 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 So writing fantasy is tough, yes. Writing fantasy is very tough because you have to create a fictional world and you have to make your characters in that world believable. And you have to make your world feel believable, obviously. There's a lot of authors, they write fantasy novels. And then when they describe the land and you have the characters in there, it doesn't really feel real. It feels a bit fake. There's something about this book. It doesn't feel, the world doesn't feel real. Yeah, whereas my book, the world feels very real. The North and the South. You have the Northerns, they like the Souths like the Northerns. You have the demonic wolves in the South, the bats in the South, the Northern living in Xanus. Yeah, it feels real. The Xanians, it feels real. My world, because I'm a creative genius. I wrote a masterpiece. I'm sorry. Yeah. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. So, Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. Lion Fantasy is the hardest novel to write. Genres to tackle? Yes, because you have to create a fictional world. And you have to make that fictional world feel real and believable. And you have to make your characters in that world feel believable. You also have to be very good at writing dialogue. Because in the fantasy world, you expect characters in most fantasy worlds, you expect characters to speak not like us. In the modern time, they speak Old English style speech. Not Old English. Old English is fucked up. Old English style speech, the way they spoke in the medieval times, the way they spoke in the medieval times in the ancient times is not the way we speak today. They had a different way of speaking. You have to be very good at writing dialogue, and I'm good at writing dialogue. You guys read says, well, yeah, I mean, you're very good at writing dialogue. Yeah, I'm good at writing dialogue too. Some of my dialogue is a bit stiff, obviously, raw, but it's amazing. But I mix a few modern words with old English style words, obviously, when you read my book, right? But most of it's old English style speech. And it's beautifully written, as you guys read. Obviously, my book's a masterpiece. It's an amazing book. I mean, it's a masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. Hence why I'm going to experience being a famous, successful author before I become a movie star, VJ for the Xanus movie. Yeah. Yeah, VJ, I'm going to enjoy being a famous author for a good maybe year and a half. And after that, once we start Scott's Entertainment, we're now movie stars. And I experienced being a famous movie star, VJ, for the Xanus movie. Being featured in the red card events, yeah, obviously. Will you enjoy your fame more as an author or as a movie star? A movie star, man. Come on, man. Much cooler being a movie star than being a fucking author, right? Famous author. Being a famous author is cool. It's not as cool as being a movie star. Movie star is glory, man. You're on the scenes, everything them are doubles, and you're in the special effects. You're a badass warrior. It's much cooler being a movie star than being a famous author. Obviously, you know. So, Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. Live, seriously, man, how do you make your characters come alive? It's a gift, man. I have the heavenly gift. I don't know how I do it, man. It's just a gift I have. It's just a gift. I can't tell you the trick. I just write and then they jump on the page. It's a gift that I have. Yeah, I have a certain way of constructing my dialogue. Like continuing, he added, you know what I'm saying? And I have the dialogue, and the way it flows, the characters just come alive. It's a gift that I have. Which these other authors, yeah, these other authors, they all use the traditional way of writing dialogue. I don't really use that way. I have a different way of writing dialogue. And it's a bit weird, but it works, and it makes the dialogue flow well, and it makes my character jump on the page. Is a gift that I have. Yeah, I mean, the way you write your dialogue is a bit weird. It's not the way other authors write. Like, authors don't use the word added and continuing and that kind of stuff. Yeah, but I use those words, but it makes the dialogue flow well because I'm a genius. My characters come alive on page. That's why my book is so entertaining. Yeah. So, Sarah. I most likely will go book touring too. I'm gonna have my email information on my book. I'm gonna get probably maybe a good 20 emails. I go on a little book tour around the world, maybe. Kind of people are gonna want to interview me. They rent a venue and all that stuff. Yeah. And for the book tour, if you rent a venue, I'm also taking half the money too. That's how it works. As the fans are there to see me speak, and you're probably on my success, I'm taking half the money. That's how it works, right? For the book tour too, me and VJ take 50% of the money. Well, I take 50% of the money, but I'm sharing the money with VJ, obviously. Because they're not going to interview VJ for the book tour, right? VJ didn't write my book. VJ will be in the audience watching. Or behind stage, I don't know. She'll either be behind the stage, in the front, or she'll be in the audience watching when they interview me. And I put on a show because I'm an amazing speaker. Yeah. I'm an amazing speaker. Yeah, I'm the best speaker in the world, right? Yeah, because I have the God gene. That's why my personality is so interesting. I'm an amazing speaker. I'm a gifted speaker, yeah. Will you be funny when they interview Ivan? Of course I will. It's impossible for me to not be funny. Being funny is part of my DNA. As when I speak, I can't help but be funny. That's just who I am. Even when I don't mean to be funny, I end up being funny. The way I say the word, the way I act and everything, I'm funny, and hence why people laugh and everything, because I'm being funny is part of my my DNA, right? Just like VJ is also funny too. She has a sense of humor when she speaks too. When you guys see her videos, right? She's naturally funny too. The way she speaks, yeah. Her personality, she's funny. She's not as funny as me, but she's funny too. You don't hate me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. 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 Will fans ask you for advice about how to write a book? Yeah, they will, but like, I'm gonna give them the best advice I can. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest, man. If you don't have the gift, the mind to do it, you're gonna have a tough time right now fast enough. I don't want to bullshit you, right? But the best advice I can give you is take creative writing classes, study the greats like Brandon Sanderson, George R. Martin, J.K. Rowling, how they wrote their books. Watch Brandon Sanderson's lectures on YouTube. He has a lot of lectures on YouTube you can watch about writing a fantasy novel. That will help you out a lot. And the number one thing is constantly practice your writing. Gotta practice your writing. Challenge yourself. Write maybe a 5,000, 10,000 word novel. Challenge yourself. And even if it's bad, go back and learn from your mistakes, and you keep writing. And that's how you hone your craft as a writer. Because my first book was not Xanus. I wrote an Islamic book before that. A book called Apostasy. Yeah. And my writing back then was not as polished as it is now. I honed my craft in writing. I wrote over 30,000 words of that novel. That's a lot of practicing. And then after that, I wrote Xanus, and I honed my craft. Because I have the heavenly gift. I hone my craft. I figured out the magic trick and I honed my craft and I wrote a masterpiece. My Xanus novel, a masterpiece, yeah. Some saying? I honed my craft in writing. Uh, that's why I'm looking at an amazing movie, man. I'm giving Peter I'm giving Peter Mel Gibson an unlimited budget for my movie. $400 towards special effects. That on Peter, that's more than enough. I can do whatever I want for this movie, Ivan. Yeah, for the battle scenes, for the world building, for the horror, the demonic characters. Peter has the budget to work with. That's why he'll have that smile on his face. He'll be happy. Because I gave Peter an unlimited budget, man, for the movie. Unlimited budget for the movie, Cameron. Yeah. 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 So you're making Zanes for $200? Yes. I'm gonna put $200 of my own money into the movie. That's a $700 budget towards each of the volumes, each of the 3 movies. That way, Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson have an unlimited budget to work with. My company blows out of the water. Yeah, I have enough money to pay the Hollywood actors a lot of money, pay the crewmen, Lord Wings Hollywood crewmen, the 150K, 200K. Yeah, and watch out for the greedy agents, Ivan. John Vegas' agent wants $20 million in rollies. I'm not paying John Vegas that. He gets his 8.5. He's not worth $20 million. I'm saying. And I get $20 that man. I'm like, no, John, you get 9. Stop being greedy. So I'm saying, yeah. Watch out for the greedy Hollywood actors, agents, Ivan, and managers. They're greedy pigs. They're greedy animals. Greedy pigs. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been looking at a war. Yeah, Peter Jackson will tell me, all right, if you think my Helmsley war was good, the Zane's boy's going to blow that war out of the water, because for Lord of the Rings, we only put maybe 40, 35 million towards visual effects and special effects. And I'm putting 410 times that, 11 times that, yeah. $400 million towards visual effects and special effects, going towards the world building and the battle scenes and the horror of the demonic characters. Yeah, I've been looking at Devils, the most horrific beings in history, a revelation of horror, and you're looking at a war that'll blow my Helmsley war, the Pelennor Fields battle, when Return of the King, the Gondor war, the Osgiliath war. It's gonna blow out of the water, Ivan. People tell me that. I can't wait for this movie, Ivan. You gave me enough of the budget. I know, Peter. He's all happy. Your company blows out of the water. I know it blows out of the water, Peter. Or Mel, right? Yeah, Mel's like, Ivan, your company blows out of the water. I know Mel blows out of the water, whoever I choose right now. Some Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. So why didn't you show us Volume 3? Because I don't want to spoil the story for you. Volume 3 is a dark episode of Tacky's life, hence why I don't want to spoil the story for you. Hence why I didn't show you anything of Volume 3, because I don't want to spoil the story for you. Obviously. And I showed you guys more than enough sections of my book. I don't want to ruin the story for you, man. Yeah. Maybe my phone broke. Maybe God was sending me a sign, Ivan, you have to stop showing the world your book. They're going to purchase it. You want to spoil the story for them. Yeah, I don't want to spoil the story for you guys, man. And that's why I didn't show you Volume 3. Because Volume 3 is a dark episode of Takis' life when you read the book. It's very dark, it's very deep and powerful, hence why I didn't show you, and hence why I wrote a masterpiece. Volume 3 will blow your mind away. It's a masterpiece, man. That's why it's my favorite. You can argue Volume 2 is better, it just depends on the art hits you, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Oh my god. It's Coco Fruity. Oh yeah, man. Coco Fruity, man. Yeah. Obviously. So the work is getting to your body. Yeah. After working here for 2 years, I now feel the fatigue and the pressure of working there, man. Coco Fruity really, really takes a toll on my body. It's tiring, man. Yeah. And when I get home, I feel it. I feel the fatigue and I'm exhausted because dishwashing is too much work. Overfood, they overwork me, man. It's too much work, man. Yeah. Like yesterday, the boss didn't work, but at the end of my shift, he came with all these boxes, and he always makes me do it. When you can have the line guys do it, he always makes me do it. Yeah, he always makes me take out the boxes for him, obviously. When he can do it himself, he's just lazy. Yeah, I'm lazy. I don't want to take all these boxes. He's fucking lazy, man. Yeah. No, Ivan, I need you to carry the boxes for me and give it to me. I'm like, why don't you just do it yourself, man? I have a lot of dishes to wash, but he makes me do it because he's lazy. He doesn't want to take out the boxes. Yeah, he makes me carry the boxes and give it to him. Because he's lazy, yeah. Obviously. Because if I do get another job, which I should obviously, he's gonna ask me, Ivan, why you leaving? I'm like, yeah, I have another job. They gave me more hours. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell him the work's tough on my body. That makes you seem lazy. He's like, Ivan, like I can ease you the dishes. Well, if you can ease you the dishes, why don't you do it? Like you can easily work on Saturday alone. You don't have to make me work. You can work on Saturday alone and wash the dishes, but you don't want to do the dishes on Saturday because you know the Coco Footy boss knows it's a lot of work, man. He's not stupid, man. He knows, man. He knows it's a lot of work. That's why he doesn't want to do the dishes, obviously. No one likes doing dishes, man. Dishes is not fun, man. It's not fun washing dishes, man. Washing dishes is not fun. It's the worst job in the restaurant, man. No one likes washing dishes. Yeah. Everyone avoids the dishes. Yeah. I'll work any job in the restaurant if I don't want to do dishes. Yeah, they don't want to do dishes, man. Even Reza told me, yeah, I hate doing dishes. I don't like doing dishes. He said I wash dishes one time for an hour. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't like doing dishes. Yeah, he's like, I don't like dishes, Ivan. Yeah, no one likes dishes. It's not fun washing dishes. Washing dishes is not fun. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I'm not going to let the gates touch my money. You had me work minimum wage my whole life for 40 years. I don't know what it's like to even pay my bills. And like the money on the books for me, the billions on the books for me, it's not for you. You're not touching my money. All the trillions in the world goes to you. These billions are for me, I don't know. The $12.5 million off the book is for me, it's not for you. You're just a greedy pig, yeah. He's like, you made $12.5 million off your book. I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. All right, we can start that film. We can build that dream $5 million house. We can buy our high-end cars, our jets, our yachts. I know our nice clothes. Yeah, I know our cars. $1,500,000 cars. Yeah, nice fucking cars. Yeah. Yeah. So Sarah. Ivan, what scene in your book will blow your mind away the most? That's a tough one. Either the thesis scene or the walking with the ancestor scene. I think those two scenes are the scenes that will blow your mind away. There's also stuff in Volume 2 that blows your mind away too, obviously. No, Volume 2 doesn't really blow your mind away. It's like Volume 3 is when the plot really blows your mind away. That's why it's my favorite. But you can argue it's the most raw in terms of the flow of the dialogue. It's more stiff. That's why I'm going over Volume 3 and I'm polishing up a few things here and there. But it's still, you're still hooked. It's entertaining. But you can argue it's the most raw out of the 3 volumes. But you can also argue it's the most entertaining because a lot of the stuff in Volume 3 blow your mind away. That's why it's my favorite. But you can argue Volume 2 is better too. It just depends how the art hits you. I think most fans are going to like Volume 2 the best. Because Volume 3, I take the story on a totally different direction. And some fans might not like that. Like when you read Volume 1 and Volume 2, you don't really expect that in Volume 3. But I give you a few clues here and hints of what could happen in Volume 3 when you read Volume 2, but I don't want to spoil the story for you. Hence why I didn't show you the scene after they talked about the Axis of Sapphias, because when they that scene, there's a bit of a spoiler there for Volume 3. Hence why I didn't show you that scene. Because you have a scene, a pretty entertaining scene after they discuss the Axis of Sapphias, the scene I showed you. And after that scene, you have a foreshadowing or a hint or a clue of what can happen in Volume 3. And after that, you have the hostile crowd, like I showed you guys, right? That's why my book is so entertaining. Yeah. The scene when Cassius can't sleep, that's the scene right before that Exodus of Sapphias scene. And that scene I showed you guys with Taki is they can come with us. I'm saying, it seems like you already clarified your feelings, Taki, as on time is, yeah. That scene is right before that Exodus of Sapphias scene I showed you guys. Pretty much, right? That's why it's constant entertainment. And after that, you have another interesting scene after they discuss the Exodus. And you have the scene with a hostile crowd. I remember this man, yeah. And you have another entertaining scene after that. Yeah, my book is constant entertainment. It's a masterpiece, man. That's why you can argue Exodus of Sapphias is arguably the best chapter in Volume 2. Or you can argue some people might like the Lithia chapter the best. Like I showed you guys. You misjudged my horse. I'm saying that chapter's sick too. You also have the Tachys or Colonius chapter, which is like, Father, what's wrong? Yeah, that's that chapter. Our cousin, that's the end of that chapter. Yeah, you can argue that's the best one too. Whereas Captured and Latin Chaos are, in my opinion, are the worst ones. But even those chapters are entertaining, as I showed you guys, right? The Captured chapter is arguably my second worst chapter. When he's like, this must be Galatia, the Great Forest must be. And the Horde of Valleys here, I can feel its darkness already emanating. I'm now sick. I know my book is sick, man. The Horde of Valleys here, I can feel its darkness already emanating. Hello, humans. Yeah, that's that chapter. And the putting in writing, they shall not pass these sacred walls. That's Latin Chaos, which is arguably the worst chapter in Volume 2. Or you can argue Captured is the worst one. Ivan, what's your favorite chapter in Volume 2? Exodus of Sapphias. Or Tachys or Colonius. But Tachys Colonius is short. It's not that long of a chapter. It's a short one, right? But that chapter is very entertaining. You can argue that's the best one in Volume 2. But I'd probably go for Exodus of Sapphias, and Tachys or Colonius is probably a close second, and the Lithia chapter is probably third best. I think Tachys Colonius is better than Lithia because more things happen. Tachys are in a dungeon. And the worst ones are Captured and Land and Chaos, in my opinion. But some fans might like Land and Chaos better, right? It just depends how the art hits you, right? I almost full sword for you, yeah. What's your favorite chapter in Volume 1? In Search for the Prince, the last chapter. The one I showed you, this is Eratet's territory. We're in his domain. That's probably the best one in Volume 1. Best chapter in Volume 3 is probably Walking with the Ancestors. Or you can argue Unexpected Journey. The first chapter is the best one. And the worst one is Secret Council, Surprising Arrival. That's an interesting chapter too, though, man. That's when you get the dispute with the Northers and the Southers. Obviously. Walking with the Ancestors is probably the best one in Volume 3. That's the chapter that... But the thesis scene is in the first chapter, An Unexpected Journey, when you read the book. And that scene will blow your mind away. blow your mind away. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. And you also have the walking with the ancestors. That's when it gets deep and dark, and that will blow your mind away too. When Taki's in agony, I almost feel sorry for you. War and Becoming King is also sick too. You have the huge war in the end with the huge war. Yeah. Yeah. Every chapter in my book is fucking sick, man. There are better ones than other ones, but every chapter that you read, you're just on the edge of your seat, hooked, turning the page, man. My book's a masterpiece, man. Yeah, man. It's a fucking masterpiece. I wrote a masterpiece, yeah. A masterpiece. Yeah. Why can't the sellers believe Taki's the Prince of Xanus? Because the Northerns never come to the South, yet alone the Prince of Xanus. They can't believe. And Takius took on a big identity. Don't forget that, right? He was Colonius the farmer. He claimed to be a farmer from Cyrus. And all of a sudden, that random guy claims to be the Prince of Xanus. They can't believe it, obviously. The Celts can't believe it. But Lithia has the faith. Lithia believes. You know. And Belle believes Lithia too. But the other Salamans are pretty convinced what if he is the prince, but even them they're still not convinced because they can't believe it. That's why you always get that reaction, that cannot be. That cannot be. You always get that reaction, right? I have one more beer. You always get that reaction, that cannot be, that cannot be, yeah. See what I'm saying? The scene I showed you, when Lithia was trying to convince Belle that Takius is the Prince of Xanus, you know what I'm saying? She's like, really, huh? You know what I'm saying? She's weird, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, Lith, that's crazy speech. No way is the heir of Xanus wandering these parts. We're in the South. Yeah, even Belle is shocked. Lith, are you crazy? There's no way the heir of Xanus is wandering in these parts in the South, man. We're in the cursed South. There's no way the prince from the Prince of Xanus would come to this place, man. They can't believe it. Alright, now, so that's why my book is sick. Because Ivan, you're looking at our matches, man. They don't believe he's the Prince of Xanus, because the Northern's ever come to this, they can't believe it. Oh, he's on trial, he's in a dungeon. Ivan, like, this is a match. You know, this is Lord of the Rings. All right, no, he's very good. No, Ivan, seriously, I enjoyed the work more in Jared Torres Lord of the Rings. No, fingers for Lord of the Rings. No, Ivan, seriously, I enjoyed your book more than Jared Torres Lord of the Rings. No, fingers for Lord of the Rings. It's a masterpiece, man. It's a masterpiece, my book. Yeah. How dark's your book? Children die in it. As you guys read it in What Was Cyrus No More. Yeah, the wolves marked land of Cyrus. They killed every human being in that land except for Tactius, Sirius Empire. They were lucky to escape right before the wolves came. And Francis, Cleo, and Sebastian, they escaped too. As you guys read in that scene, obviously, right? In Volume 1. Obviously. And in the end of Volume 2, Tactius says, yeah, even though these Salamans are gonna live with me in the north, obviously, my fear is some of these innocent children here might not see the north. And he was right. I'm not spoiling anything for you. Obviously, you guys know some of the civilians in the caverns, they obviously die, obviously, right? That's not a spoiler. If you have a battle scene, of course some of them are gonna die, right? It's not a spoiler, obviously. Children die, yeah, man. And Taki says, yeah, even though these innocent kids in the south are going to live with me in Xanus, and we save them from Eretat's grass, you have the bats. You don't know what to expect in the caverns, and my fear is some of these children might not even see the north. You'll see that when you read the end of Exodus of Saphius. Yeah, that's why my book is sick. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Sick. There's a scene when Lithia is like, Takius, the people are waiting for you. Because you have the people. All I'm going to say is the end of Volume 2, the people, they all line up on the streets of Saphius, and they're all excited. Oh my God, we're gonna live in the north with Prince Tacitus. You know what I'm saying? That's what looking at a sick movie. Because I'm looking at our masterpiece, like Prince of Egypt. I know here, holy shit. And I'm saying, yeah. And Tacitus like, yeah, some of these innocent children here will not see the north. Taki has had that gut feeling. Some of these children here are not going to see the North. Yeah, he was right. You have the demon bats, and he feasts in the caverns, right? I almost pulled so for you. You'll see me read my book. So, Ivan, you get the Moria vibe when you read that scene. Yeah, you do. When you read Volume 3 and they journey through the caverns, you get a lot of Moria similarities when you, like, with Lord of the Rings, when you read it. I almost pulled sword for you, yeah. That scene is very entertaining. That's a pretty freaky scene when you read it. Volume 3. That's why Volume 3 is my favorite, because that's when it gets dark. But you can argue Volume 2 is better. It just depends on the art hits you, right? Yeah. John Mays, your book's sick, man. I know, John. My book is sick. I can't wait to be part of that movie. I know, John. Looking at a sick movie. Yeah. Hold it. Are you saying there's another pasture north? There is. It's due west from here in the mountain of Gileas. And I cannot guarantee a safe pass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. And Mary was making fun of Cassius and them. Like, what if 1,000 should, or what if 100 should thousands of them be waiting for us in there? We can't rely on 3 trained warriors to protect us. And Cassie's like, geez, thanks for the encouraging words, lady. Yeah, that was funny, I know. Geez, thanks for the encouraging words, lady. You know, I said, yeah. And that's why Cassie says, okay, how many strong forged blacksmiths do you have? You know, of what use is this question, Cassie? He's like, how many? I'm now sick, I know. We have over 700 available. Why? You know what I'm saying? He said, we'll need as many men able to bear arms if we're going to wander into that cursed cavern. Because Cassie's tactics as always kind of take on hundreds of thousands of bats, right? Yeah. They need help. That's why he said we need as many men able to bear arms. That's why my story is so sick. Yeah. Obviously. And that entertaining scene that you guys read, that's right before the can't sleep scene with when Takis talks to Cassius. And you have another entertaining scene after that scene, when they talk about the Exodus Abbeys. And after that you have a hostile crowd that I showed you guys. And that's what my book is, constant entertainment. You keep reading. Yeah. Usually how my book works is you have like a very entertaining scene, then you have maybe one page is entertaining but it's not entertaining, and you have another very entertaining scene, and you have like a scene that's not as entertaining, you have another very entertaining scene. It's constant pacing and consistent hook and entertainment. That's what my book is a masterpiece. That's what my stepmother told me my book's number 1. My book is the best man's novel written. It's a fucking masterpiece, man. It's a book worth blatant. That's why the gates want to control my brand, but 0, man. The money out the books for being leisure, you're not touching my money. There you go. This is me, Vijay's money. It's not yours. All the trillions in the world goes to you. You won't even let Vijay be worth 100 million when she sells to you. I'm not gonna sell to you and have you dupe me and steal my money and give me peanuts, man. Yeah, the gates are gonna dupe you out if you sell. They're never let you be blamed, man. They're blind by their envy. That's why I'm not selling to you guys. I have my own keys. These billions are for me, Vijay. It's not for you. This is not your money. It's mine. Don't hate them, senor. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Tactics is a changed man. Oh yeah. When you read Volume 3, you're shocked by how changed Tactics is. In the end of Volume 3, Tactics is a bit more mature, as you guys read, right? He was willing to save the Southerns from Aratat's grasp in the South. He's a bit changed, but Volume 3 is the one he's a really changed man, whereby he prays like Jesus in the Bible. He prays. It's not like Jesus in the Bible, but he's in prayer. He prays. Who's he praying to? I won't spoil it over. You got the answers. I won't spoil it over for you. Sorry. Because you guys are probably wondering, what the fuck are those faces in the sky that Ivan talks about in Volume 1 and 2, in Volume 1 and Volume 2. But when you read Volume 3, it all makes sense. Oh yeah, it makes sense now. Yeah, who those faces were in the sky. Yeah, you have the faces in the north and the faces in the south. Yeah. So I'm saying, like when Tatis talks to that hostile crowd, obviously he talks about how Ayrton are coming to Markline. You guys read that section, obviously, and in the end of that speech, I won't spoil the story. What happens? You see a demonic face appear in the south, staring at Tacitus for like a quick, like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, staring at Tacitus. What does that mean, Ivan? You'll see Ivan when you read Volume 3. When you read Volume 3, it all makes sense. That's why I enjoy Volume 3, because Volume 3 is when the story gets deep and dark. It's a big plot twist. I take the story in a different direction, in a darker, deep direction. That's why I enjoy Volume 3. I won't spoil the story for you. I'm sorry. Is your story deeper than the story of Jesus dying on the cross? Yeah, it's even deeper than that. It's fucking deep, man. But the story of Jesus dying on the cross is also very deep, too. But I think my story in Volume 3 is even deeper than that. It's deep. It's very, very deep. It's so deep, it blows your mind away. Hence why when I release my book, it's a public embarrassment. And no fantasy author will be able to top the Xanus story. You can't beat that story. It's too entertaining. No author entertained the reader the way Ivan did, and the plot is so deep and powerful, you can't top it. It doesn't get any deeper than that. You can't undeep that, man. Yeah, that's why, yeah, seriously, Ivan, like, your plot for Xanus is so deep, it doesn't get any deeper than this. Like, you can't get any deeper than that, Ivan, I know. I set the standard in fantasy, man, because I'm a genius. I'm a genius, yeah. A genius, yeah. 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 He's Ivan. I can't wait for Olivia Ivan. I know VJ. She's always like, no, Ivan, seriously, man, that's my dream, man. Like Ivan, man, I'm finally no longer under the gates. I'm now boss with you. I own the skies and him coming with you, Ivan. Yeah, and I don't have to worry about the gatekeepers now, Ivan. We can finally move our own cash and we're the boss. I can't wait for Olivia Ivan. I know she's all excited. I can't wait for Olivia Ivan for the movie. I know. Yeah, think something like Aowen and Arwen for Lord of the Rings for VJ. Something like that for her, Danielle Manette, and Ariana Grande for the movie. Looking at a sick movie, man. Yeah, man. All your actors have to bulk up for the role, yeah. Avon, Georgia, John Mega have to work out. Like John Mega is a pretty built guy, but I want him to be jacked in the movie. You have to train John Mega and get jacked. I have to work out and get jacked too. Idris Elba, all the actors have to get a bit. They have to bulk up. You don't have to bulk up like crazy, but you got to bulk up a little bit for the role, right? They're gonna be doing a good maybe I don't know 6 months of weight training. Second year. And my trained nutritionists are going to send their agents all the information for their workout. I'm going to rent a gym VIP for all the actors wherever they live. So you can rent one gym in England for John Mega, Edris Elba, and Andy Serkis. They work out there. And you rent the gym in America in Los Angeles where the other guys all live. And Yvonne Joje, he'll be working out with me and VJ most likely, right? I'll have the people rent the gym for me and VJ too. And Yvonne Joje, because Yvonne Joje lives in Vancouver, he'll work out with us. That's how it works, right? Because he lives in Vancouver, Yvonne Joje. And they have to do like a year's worth of training, tactical training. Yeah, I'm gonna hire the best stuntman in the world to train us in techniques for sword fighting. Obviously, you know how in The Hobbit the dwarves trained and everything. Yeah, like he was like, yeah, you guys have to do training if you want to look badass in the movie. Yeah, we have to do training for the movie. 1 year of training. That's why me and the actors are gonna be badass, especially the Northerns. You're gonna see me, John Mega, Jiwon Su, Don Cheadle or Vigo or Russell Crowe were badass fucking Northern fighters. Whereas the other guys are all Southerns. They're pretty good fighters, but not as badass as us. That's why the Northern actors are lucky, because they're gonna look badass in the movie. Think something like 2-3 times out of Aragon, man. Like we're badass fighters in the movie, man. Yeah. You're gonna see John Mega kicking ass, fighting all the devil wolves and bats. Jiwon Su fighting the wolves and bats, Edris Elba fighting the wolves, I'm fighting the wolves, Don Cheadle's fighting the wolves, or Vigo, or Russell Crowe were badass fighters in the movie. I mean, but Russell Crowe, because he's fat right now, he's gonna have to drop at least like maybe 30 pounds. Yeah, Russell Crowe, you have to drop like 30 pounds. My trainer, nutritionist will give you a schedule for you to drop weight. You have to work. Russell Crowe's a pretty buff guy, obviously, but he's right now he's bloated. In his later years, he's a bit bloated. He has to lose some weight. I want him looking like what he did for Gladiator. Like, you gotta look good, Russell Crowe, for the movie. I can't have you be an archer when you're all fat and bloated. No, like you have to drop like maybe 30 pounds. You gotta work out and bulk up a little bit. And I might have Russell Crowe. He has long hair, like Vigo, long hair. Obviously. For the movie, if I choose him, right? Yeah. Obviously. And if I do choose Russell Crowe, he signed a mega like $100 million deal for my fucking movie. A massive contract, yeah. $100 million deal. It's a huge fucking contract. That's how much Robert Downey Jr. is making for the Avengers movies, right? Yeah, but my company blows out of the water. He's like, holy shit, a $100 million deal. Your company blows out of the water. In Hollywood, I make like my 20, Ivan. My 15, I know. Your company blows out of the water. I know, it blows out of the water. But watch out for Russell Crowe's agent, Ivan, if he's chosen, man. If his agent wants... Yeah, his agent might... Ivan, what about 100 million rollies, Russell Crowe? My guys, man, you're getting greedy, man. I'm not going to pay Russell Crowe $100 million. He's not worth that. He gets 55. Ivan, what about $1 million for the promos? I'm like, no, guys, he gets $300K. He doesn't get $1 million, man. I'm paying that through the salary budget. He gets $300K. That's good enough. A nice contract for being featured on the magazines, the commercials, and being featured on the Sky Source News. You get $300K for it. That's a good deal for Russell Crowe. Yeah. Some Sarah? I'm most likely going to go for Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle's my first choice, right? Yeah. 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 So Ivan, the story is so deep and dark in Volume 3. It's so deep and dark, the situation feels hopeless. Hence the title of my book, The Last Hope for his Age. You guys will see me when you read Volume 3. Once you read Volume 3, you'll now understand why I called Last of His. Yeah, I know why Ivan called Last of His Age when you read Volume 3. Yeah, the situation feels hopeless. Yeah, that's why Takis is in agony. Well, it's not really the real reason why he's in agony. Well, that's a part of it. And some of his friends, his southern friends and his family members are crying. Like, the only spoiler I'm going to give you, when Takis is in agony, some of his family and friends, they're watching like 50 yards away from afar, and they're seeing Takis in agony in the gardens, just like Jesus' disciples were witnessing Jesus in agony in the gardens, obviously. The difference is, for my movie, for my book, some of his family members and his southern friends are crying when Takis is in agony. They're crying. They have tears down their eyes. And some of them pray too. That's how deep it is. Yeah, it's deep, man. It's deep and powerful. It's a masterpiece, man. I wrote a masterpiece. The best fans ever written. Yeah, man. Masterpiece. A masterpiece, yeah, man. That's why the gates won't enjoy Brown, but zero, man. The money's being paid is not for you. All the choices in the world goes to you, and you won't let me make money in this world. You won't let me touch your money. This book that I wrote is my brand. I wrote it. I have the keys. I'm gonna sell you. This is my money. You're not touching my money. I'm sorry. But there are some fans who might like Lord of the Rings and Way of Kings and Game of Thrones better. Like Daniel Green's favorite fantasy series is Wheel of Time. He might like Wheel of Time better. Bronny Durfee's favorite book series is Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and Sword of Shannara for fantasy. He might like those books better than my book. Yeah, Ivan's book was a masterpiece, but it was a bit raw. I like Sword of Shannara and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones better. Yeah, I like those books better. I understand. Those authors wrote masterpieces too, right? Art hits everyone different ways, yeah. But I highly doubt it, man. You guys read such my book. My book is more entertaining reading all his novels. There's something unique in my writing. The characters come alive on the page. The world building comes alive on the page. And it's a very unique world with the North and the South, the Norths and the Southlands, and the wolves and the bats. It's a fucking unique world. Hence why what? Yeah. Xanus is the best fantasy novel written, yeah. Take a nice hot shower. I'm gonna wash my hair today. How much time do you wash your hair? I wash my hair like once every 2 weeks. You have dreads. You're not supposed to wash your hair every day. You can ruin your dreads. You wash it like once every 2 weeks. Just take shampoo. Just scrub your hair. And I have my twist lock for my hair. I just twist my hair that way it locks my dreadlocks on my hair right now. Yeah. I'm gonna get some food today. I got paid, so I'll get food. I might get Snack Shack hot dogs today. Maybe Snack Shack hot dogs. Snack Shack's expensive though. Yeah. I'll get the hot dogs around, I don't know, 8 o'clock. Right now it's only maybe like, I don't know, 6 o'clock. It's like 6 o'clock right now, yeah. So Ivan, you knew you had the gift. Yeah, once I found out I was God, and I read my book, and I knew, yeah, God gave me the gift, and I knew my novel was number one. I knew it was the best fantasy novel written. When I read it, I was blown away. I'm like, holy shit. At first, I thought maybe this book might not be that good. And once I started reading sections of my chapters, I'm like, holy shit, man. There's something about my writing that's very unique, and the characters jump on the page. This is very entertaining. And I wrote volume 3, and the plot gets deep. And I'm like, yeah, I wrote a master, man. This is the best fantasy novel written. I knew I wrote the best fantasy novel written. I knew it. Yeah, and I showed you guys that my book, and you guys now see what I'm saying is true. My book is a fucking masterpiece. It's an entertaining read. It's the best fantasy novel written. Yeah. Constant entertainment when you read, you're hooked. Yeah. It's so good, it'll be a public embarrassment. And all these authors are gonna feel like shit. George R. Martin, Brownstown, and J.K. Rowling, and all of them are gonna feel like shit. And some fans might think I'm lying. I don't believe you wrote this on your own. I'm like, no, guys, I'm not lying to you guys. I wrote this on my own. No, Ivan, seriously, man, are you sure you didn't have? Are you lying? Did you really have help? I didn't have any help, guys. I wrote this on my own. Holy shit, Ivan, you are gifted, man. Like, your book is the best fantasy novel I've ever read in my life. I know, it's a masterpiece, man. Amazing book. You read it, you're hooked, you just keep turning the page. Before you know it, you're 100 pages in, you're still hooked. And you turn the page. My book is a book you can binge in one day, man. I highly doubt, like, the only people who will binge in one day are the book nerds. Because they can read, like, for hours. Whereas the non-book nerds might binge my book in maybe 3 days. They read a volume a day. Yeah. Because my book will be maybe a 750, 800 page book. So in 3 days you can finish it, obviously. Finish my book, obviously. When you purchase it, right? Yeah. 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 So volume 2 is very deep, yeah. Before I show us kind of here, volume 3 is so deep that even some of the civilians and the children in Xanus are crying for tactics in them when they go to war. When they're marching towards past the wall to meet Aratat and his army. Some of the civilians are crying, and some of the children are crying. That's how deep it gets. And it's like, please, Ivan, you're looking at a fucking master, man. This is gonna be the best movie you've ever made. Ivan, your story, like, kind of blows, like, my Lord of the Rings story out of the water. This is a deep, powerful story, Ivan. I know, Peter. You know, Ivan, seriously, man, like this is a masterpiece. How'd you call this? All right, this is better than your Toys Lord of the Rings. I know if he's right, your Toys Lord of the Rings. It's a masterpiece. You guys read such a book. You guys see what I'm saying, man. It's a masterpiece, man. Yeah, but that's why Xanus was the best fantasy novel written. You guys will see what I mean when you purchase my book. Anyways, guys, here's where I talk for now. 30 minutes. That's good enough. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Stay tuned. I'll make a video tomorrow morning if I'm off, or I'll make a video tomorrow morning in the afternoon after my shift at Cocoa Fruity if I work. This is Ivan Amara. I'm signing out. Peace. Peace out, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Don't hate them, son.